This early morning, let us explore the 4 bases of mindfulness and then meditate. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is brought to you by the kind-hearted folks who help support this channel on Patreon. This morning, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two. But first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as Obi-Wan Kenobi upon Tatooine under the guidance of Qui-Gon Jinn, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Good news. If at any point this morning, any point at all, you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Well, that is lame, isn't it? Okay, let's go back over here. One moment while I try to fix something. Okay, so let's take a gander at the 4 bases of mindfulness. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha several times mentions the 4 bases of mindfulness. And in this context, we could think of them as being the mental, the interpersonal, the physical, and the circumstantial. Now, in some spiritual paths, they will say that the spiritual is more important than the corporeal, and it doesn't matter if you're hungry or naked or homeless. The fact of the matter is, in an interdependent universe, everything affects everything. And whether we are healthy or sick, whether we are hungry or well-fed, whether we are naked or clothed, whether we are homeless or unhoused, all these things will affect our spiritual journey. Neuroscience tells us that if we are in peril, then it's going to undermine it's going to cause the survival part, the fear part, the under part of our brain to light up. But if we are in a place of safety and plenty, then our empathy part will light up. So from a rational point of view, everything affects everything, and all our needs are important. In the Mahayana tradition, in the Tibetan tradition, and to a lesser degree in the Theravadan tradition, there is the idea that during our spiritual practice, after we've recited some things and after we've meditated, we have some very positive energy, and there's the teaching to direct that energy in a really beneficial manner. And that is the context in which this next quatrain is set. So we're just performing well wishes after generating a lot of positive energy. And so we list the 4 bases of mindfulness right here. May all minds, speech, forms, and lots. Now, we're using the monosyllabic equivalent of the mental, the interpersonal, the physical, and the circumstantial. So, communication is about one entity communicating to another entity, whether it's individual, whether it's a collective. Whether you like someone, whether you hate someone, that relationship is still considered, well, that dynamic is just a form of relationship. And the bread and butter of any relationship is communication. The monosyllabic synonym of communication in the Buddhist teachings is the word speech. Lots has many connotations, including fate, but in this context we use the noun lot as a monosyllabic synonym of circumstances. So we are directing with these words may. We're not praying that some real or imagined celestial entity bless all beings everywhere. We are using the word may, and all the words of this quatrain are set to 4 lines to direct our will. Words guide intention. Intention guides energy. So let's continue from the top. May all minds, speech, forms, and lots be as peaceful, joyful, healthy, and fortunate. Now, this is odd. I'm going to quick like a bunny. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, so this should be changed to wise, loving. And while I'm at it, quick like a bunny, I'm going to do a quick edit. Please bear with me. Oh, that's an interesting way of spelling loving, don't you agree? So, there's a simple correlation here. Wisdom correlates to the mental, love correlates to the interpersonal, health correlates to the physical, good fortune correlates to the circumstantial. And this isn't, so you can think of it this way. Due to evolutionary biology, we are wired to absolutely hate peril, pain, scorn, and anonymity. Those exact same mechanisms are wired to cause us to crave safety, health or pleasure, praise, and fame or importance. Now, humans are complex. We have many, many layers of brain, wrapping layers of brain, kind of like a great neurological onion, if you will. And so we may present as preferring anonymity. We may feel we present anonymity, but deep, deep down, we are still wired for those petty things called the 8 worldly desires or concerns. So we can repress that which is troublesome, or we can do some jujitsu on it. We can redirect it. And instead of directing those primal venal impulses towards ourself, we direct them to all beings everywhere. That all beings, mental, interpersonal, physical, and circumstantial needs be met in the most wonderful way. So this could be considered a recap of the first half of our mantra contemplation. Therein, we use similes because humans and all other complex vertebrates upon this planet have evolved to think symbolically. So the cunning use of figures of speech is powerful. So as we sit here looking at this piece of artwork displaying a beautiful green archetype of enlightenment, we wish that all this wisdom, love, health, and good fortune be comparable to the archetype great heroines, real or imagined, syllable, mantra, archetype, and paradise, which are archetypical similes of optimal, respectively, wisdom, love, health, and good fortune. So we could consider this to be an encapsulation of the first half of this of our mantra contemplation. Not only does it help us to remember these things, to remember love, which is the second fold of the Eightfold Path, not only does it benefit our training, not only does it improve the robustness of our neural pathways responsible for such things, the mirror neurons and their nexus, our anterior cingulate gyrus, but at least theoretically, it could help the rest of the world around us as well. If you've just joined me, welcome aboard. When you have a when you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your lives, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Let us continue to exercise the neural pathways of empathy and enthusiasm by chanting the next quatrain 3 times. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. By the way, the name of this practice text, or sadhana, is the Easy Tantra of Green Heroin. Let's continue. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. During this practice text, we're going to play with 12 sets of contemplations. The first 4 contemplations pertain to impermanence and interdependence, the contemplation of which help us viscerally to let go. Please chant with me. By the way, all the questions we're going to play with are 100% rhetorical, which means the power lies not in us striving to answer them, lies not in us hoping to receive an answer, but in merely asking them, silently and mentally and in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation and our relaxation. What could it look like if all circumstances are less blissfully and impermanently melted into rainbow light that interdependently absorbed into this body or form? We begin with the inhalation we conclude with the exhalation. Please chant. What could it feel like if all forms or bodies blissfully and impermanently melted into rainbow light, that interdependently absorbed into this interpersonal communication or speech? What could it sound like if all interpersonal speech was fully and impermanently melted into rainbow light, that interdependently absorbed into this mind? Let's chant. What could it be like if all minds blissfully and impermanently melted into rainbow light, that interdependently absorbed into our vast empty void? We come now to this morning's first of two sets of silent meditations. Awareness and letting go could serve as an antidote to clinging to that which we think we already possess. It is known by many names, such as Great Completion Stage Tantra. During the inhalation, let us silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this. That's so weird. Oh well. And during the exhalation, let's silently and mentally recite the three-syllable verb relaxing. Some people ask why the in-breath on the page is located lower than the out-breath is, and that's an anatomical reference. We breathe in and the air collects in the lungs. We breathe out and the air leaves through our nostrils. The nostrils, of course, being on a higher part of the body than the lungs. Welcome to this morning's live stream. If at any point you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Having completed our first of 2 sets of silent meditation, let's turn our attention now to mantra meditation, also known as the contemplations of love and letting go. These antidotes to hating are known by many terms, such as generation stage tantra. Let us play with 4 sets of contemplations pertaining to love. We shall use love to leapfrog or to pole vault over our competitive tendencies. May all minds of all beings now be as wise and peaceful as the mind of a Buddha of law symbolized by a wind-suitable seed bija mantra clay drop. During your inhalation, you can silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. During your exhalation, you can physically relax as best you can into the recitation of this 10-syllable mantra. Once you've mastered this mantra and able to recite it without reading it, you can rest your gaze upon the word wise as you physically relax. Not concentrate, but just rest the gaze. But first things first. The first week or two, just get comfortable with the recitation, with relaxing into the recitation of the 10-syllable mantra. Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Swaha 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 Om Tare Du Dare Du Re Swaha. And now let us silently contemplate. Let us take the 6-syllable loving intention and divide it equally in half between our inhalation and our exhalation. May all relationships of all beings know be as loving and joyful as a real or imagined Buddha's communications symbolized by this 10-syllable mantra. Om Tadedudadedure Swaha 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 May whole bodies of all beings know and enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddhist thought of the blissful body of a yidam of lore and archetype of enlightenment. Om Tadedudadedure Swaha 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 May all circumstances, all lots of all beings now have their safety, good fortune, or boon, as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, paraland, or vanity. Om Tadedudadedure Swaha 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 Om Dadi Du Dadi Du Re Swaha. 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 As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we notice during all previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a beautiful cloudless morn, which, although compelling to the eye, is not graspable to the hand. How is it that as we inhale all circumstances or lots could appear quite vivid, yet as we relax into our exhalation they could feel as non-graspable as a real or imagined paradise or body of light? Om Dhare 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 Swaha. 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 How is it that as we inhale our bodies, our palms could feel quite sensual, yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as not graspable, as surreal or imagined octopoidum of light? Om Tadurudaduduri Swaha, Om Tadurudaduduri Swaha, Om Tadurudaduduri Swaha, Om Tadurudaduduri Swaha. Om Tadurudaduduri Swaha, Om Tadurudaduduri Swaha, Om Tadurudaduduri Swaha, Om Tadurudaduduri Swaha. Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha. Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha. How is it that as we inhale the interpersonal experience of communication, our speech could be quite resounding, yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as not graspable as a real or imagined mantra of light? Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha. Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha. Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha. Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha, Om Dadidudadidudi Swaha. How is it that as we inhale we could perceive our mind's functions quite clearly, Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a real or imagined seed suitable time of light. Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha. Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha. Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha. Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha, Om Dhare Swaha. We come to our second and final silent meditation of bliss and of this morning's practice. This blissing letting go could serve as an antidote to craving. It is known by many names such as completion stage tantra. So now we come to moderately spooky Buddhist voodoo shit. May light rays radiate from the syllable hum in my heart, inviting Shamatara surrounded by thee. Assembly of lamas, yadams, chondros, Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and dharmapalas. Gods and demigods bow their crowns at your lotus feet. A liberator from all misfortune, to you, Mother Tata, I bow down. Homage the noble Lady Tata. Homage Tata, swift and gallant, his glance flashes like flashes of lightning. Born on the heart of a blossoming lotus that arose from the tears of the triple world's Lord. Homage her whose countenance is like 100 full moons gathered in autumn, smiling and glowing with a brilliant radiance like 1,000 stars clustered ablaze. Homage golden dew lady at lotus hand is graced with a water-born flower, embodying generosity, diligence, endurance, serenity, patience, and meditation. Homage to her whose victories are endless, jewel adorning the great Tathagata's crown. She is well served by the heirs of the victors who have accomplished all the perfections. Homage to her who with tutare and who take two. Homage to her who with tutare and whom fills the desire, roams unto the ends of space. She tramples underfoot the 7 worlds and has strength to summon all. Homage to her praised by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Marut, and Shiva. Bhutas, Vetalas, Gandharvas, and Yakshas pay tribute to her. Homage to her who with Trey and paid crushing enemies yantras. With red leg tucked in and left extended shining, she treads amidst flames wildly blazing. Homage to a terrible lady who annihilates afflictions of warriors of Mara, slaying all enemies with a frown of wrath on her lotus-like beautiful face. Homage to her whose fingers grace her heart, displaying the mudra of the 3 jewels, graced by your wheel adorning every direction with a dazzling radiance that overwhelms all. Homage to her supreme joy, a radiant garland that crowns her in splendor. Smiling and laughing with tutare, she brings demons in the world under control. Homage mother, able to summon before her all the protectors of the earth. Moving her frowning brow, she saves all from poverty with the sound of her. Homage mother, whose crown is a crescent moon blazing with all her ornaments, ever shining with the brilliant light of Amitabha in her braided hair. Homage mother, residing amidst the golden that blazes like the fire at the end of the world era, right leg extended and lift right in, annihilating hosts of the enemies. Homage mother, who hits her with the palm of her hand and pawns it with her feet. Frowning wrathfully, she shatters the 7 underworlds by the sound of Hung. Homage mother, blissful virtuous calm, whose field of activity is peaceful nirvana. Endowed with the true perfection of Swaha, an omen perfect union, destroying great evils. Homage mother, encompassed by joy, who shatters the bodies of enemies. Savioress manifesting from the awareness of whom, displaying the sounds of the 10 syllable mantra. Amajuri stomping her feet to see it appears in the form of Hung, shaking Mount Moru Mandara Bindu Chal in the triple world. Homage Mother holding the rabbit-marked moonlit is like a heavenly lake, dispelling all poison with a sound of pay and the twice-spoken Tara. Homage Mother stood by the ruler of the hosts of gods and that by the gods and Kinaras, dispelling conflicts and bad dreams with her armor of joy and splendor. Homage Mother, whose two eyes are like the sun and full moon shining with brilliant light, who dispels deadly disease with two Tara and twice-uttered Hara. Homage Mother, endowed with the power to pacify by the display of the three natural states, destroying the host of evil spirits, Yakshas, and the walking dead, to the most excellent Mother. This is the praise of the root mantra, and these are the 21 homages. Om Amashu, the noble lady Tara, Amashu Tara, quick one heroine. With two Tara, you are the one who banishes all fear. With Ture, the liberator who bestows all benefits, and with Swaha, may it be so. May all my speech forms and lots be as wise, loving, healthy, and fortunate as green heroines, real or imagined, suitable mantra, archetype, and paradise. May all beings like green heroine master the eightfold path as well as liberate others. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness, for spontaneous and uncontrived. At the very end of each being's life, may we take immediate and auspicious rebirth, master the Buddha's path, and then help all others do likewise. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness, may everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. O Queen of Space, Savior of all beings, perfectly pure essence of wind that pervades all, you give birth to all worlds and cause them to flourish, noble Lady Tara, I pay homage to you. Lady whose face gleams as white as the autumn moon by pacifying all adversity and affliction, and spontaneously bringing favorable conditions and fulfilling wishes, generate the wind horse of dissolving the eight dangers into space. Lady who shines as brightly as the golden sun by eliminating all decadence and poverty, and increasing lifespan, merit, wealth, and renown, generate the wind horse of expanding prosperity and fortune. Lady who blazes with the luster of red rubies, by dispelling all dependency and misfortune, and bringing the whole apparent world under my control, generate the wind horse of magnetizing the triple world. Lady who sparkles with blue sapphire brilliance, by repelling all enemies, obstacles, and harm, and granting total victory over all danger and adversity, generate the winters of overpowering demonic horns. Lady who beams with emerald green light by pacifying all unwanted circumstances, and accomplishing all aims with auspicious glory, generate the wind horse of acting on a space-like scale. Om ye dharma he tu prabhava he tunte shantata gato hyavatat te shansayo niroda evam vadi mahashramana swaha. If you feel that I have earned it, you could type something in the chat window. You could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could share it on social media. You could even help support this channel on Patreon. In approximately 10.5 hours, I would very much like to lead this evening's meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me,